Are you curious how to determine market value or pricing on real estate here at the Jersey Shore? Hey, I'm Adam D with the Local Connect and KW Realty, and one of the most common questions I'm getting right now is how to determine market value or to price a property. So here at the Jersey Shore on our barrier islands, things are done a little bit different than what you see in the rest of the country. The reason being is because we're so close to the ocean or the bay, or you might have a water view, and that can have a great effect on property values. One of the common misconceptions we see is a focus on cost per square foot. In other parts of the country and other markets, it's very important, right? But here, it's not all that often that we even see the square footage in the MLS or know what the square footage is without actually measuring the property. And we don't use cost per square foot because if you think about it for a moment, if you priced a property per square foot and then that property was 1 block closer to the beach, it doesn't work any longer, right? Because typically speaking, the closer the property is to the beach or the better view it has or waterfront, the more expensive it's going to be. So what we're focused on most commonly is how many bedrooms and bathrooms does the property have? How close to the water is it? And what condition is it in? They're what's going to be most important. And then from there, we are going to compare and look at things like size and square footage, right? If one property is larger than the other one, sure, of course, that's going to have an effect on the value, but not as large of an effect as the number of bedrooms and bathrooms or proximity to the beach, for example. Now, if you're a buyer and you're looking to purchase a property, you're going to look at comparables or comps, as it's commonly referred to, and that's past history or something that's already happened. And that'll start to give you a good indication of where the market was. And the other thing you're going to pay attention to is competition, or what's currently on the market. Meaning if you had to buy right now, what would your choices be? Do you only have one option or 2 or 3, right? And that's going to help you determine your comfort level or where you might make an offer. And of course, that being said, you do have to be comfortable. So that's what's most important. Buyers make offers where they think a property's worth or where they're comfortable at. And the same is true for sellers. You sell where you're comfortable at, right? And sellers are going to use the same thing, comps, and even more importantly, competition, right? If you're selling your home, you have to look at what other properties like yours are currently on the market, because you know that you may have an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how much competition you have. So bringing up cost per square foot again, don't confuse this with replacement costs or building costs, because that's going to be very common when you're looking at construction or replacement cost of a property. Now, I'd say it's more important than anything else is location and being very familiar with location. So a town like Ocean City, for example, one of the big mistakes I see with buyers all the time is they'll look at a property on Asbury Avenue, for example, and treat them all the same. But what we know is that Asbury in the south end is 2 blocks to the beach, and then north end of the town, it might be 8 blocks to the beach. And you cannot treat those properties the same because of proximity to the water, even though they might be the same square footage. So make sure you're looking at a map and know where the location of the property is and how close it is to the water, for example. So if you're wondering how to price a property here, first thing I would do is stay away from all the online estimates like the Zestimate, because they're a guess at best. Next thing I would start to do is look at what the past sales were for the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms in a similar location. And third, utilize your real estate agent, right? A good, knowledgeable real estate agent is going to help you find other like properties that have recently sold and tell you more about current market and competition, how much activity there is or interest there might be on that type of property in today's market. So now you know a few more things to think about when you're looking at real estate values here at the Jersey Shore, and particularly on our barrier islands. If you like the content that you're seeing, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. That way you're alerted to the next video that we put out. Thanks again for watching. I'm Adam D.